Okay, before I even begin, I would just like to note that I have nothing against James Cameron. In fact, I actually think he's one of the best directors of the past 40 years. The Terminator, Aliens, let's face it, we all owe some of the greatest thrills of our lives to him. But even the most creative of artists need to have some kind of inspiration, and all I'm doing is speculating where Cameron might have gotten some while writing Titanic. Heck, he even admitted that he was inspired to write Avatar after watching Disney's Pocahontas of all things. And just to be clear, I am not accusing him of plagiarism. Once again, I'm just proposing that there's a movie out there that he might have gotten some ideas from. Okay, so Titanic. We all know the story, both the real and fictional one. In real life, the boat sank, and in the movie, a depressed young socialite falls in love with a penniless artist and then loses him because the boat sinks. At least, that's the short version, but I don't think I have to go on a whole synopsis. I think everybody knows the details already. However, there is another movie out there, and one that isn't nearly as well known, that actually has quite a few striking similarities to Titanic, called History is Made at Night. Now, there will be spoilers ahead, so if you'd rather watch the movie for yourself first, then you might want to come back to this video another day. This will be your only spoiler warning. Alright, so History is Made at Night was released in 1937, exactly 60 years before Titanic was, and was directed by the long-forgotten Frank Borzage, and please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing that right, who had a storied and acclaimed career but is mostly lost to time these days. It starred Charles Boyer and Jean Arthur, though I doubt if those names would mean anything to you as they are both well past their prime today. But the point is, in terms of plot, these two movies are actually remarkably similar in a lot of ways, and I'd like to go over them right now. Okay, so as far as the similarities go, in both movies you've got a poor but beautiful woman involved in a rich but crazy and abusive man. Said woman is also almost suicidally depressed until a charming man comes to her aid at a crucial moment, and soon after the two fall in love. Then both men the woman is involved with conspires out of psychotic jealousy to keep the two apart by framing the other man for a crime he didn't commit and tries to kill them by proxy when that doesn't work. But it doesn't end there either. In both movies, a boat also strikes an iceberg after somebody urges the captain to make the boat go faster, and then when the female is put on a lifeboat, she refuses to go specifically because she wants to stay with the man she loves. And even the jealous man she's involved with both have similar fates in the end. But I'm definitely not accusing this of being all copy and paste, because there are many differences too, which I would also like to go over right now. Now, the most obvious of these differences would be that while Titanic is a pretty straightforward romantic drama and disaster movie, History is Made at Night has actually been noted by many film experts to be one of the best examples of what is known as genre bending or genre roulette out there, with its pace and tone constantly changing and going back and forth while also managing to be surprisingly consistent in terms of story and characterization. As a result, the boat and disaster elements that come with it don't even appear until the third act, whereas most of Titanic takes place on the boat and the actual sinking takes up well over half the runtime, which is rather understandable given the movie is called Titanic. Other differences include that in the older movie, the woman is just an ordinary woman and is actually married to the rich man. And while she does regret it, she did marry him of her own free will, while in Titanic, he's her fiance, and it was all part of an arranged marriage she's not thrilled about to begin with. Another difference is Charles Boyer's best friend is easily the third lead, and is actually fairly important to the overall story, whereas Leonardo DiCaprio's friend is not much more than an afterthought once he and Rose get involved. And a rather interesting difference is that in the older movie, the two suitors only ever meet once and never have a direct confrontation, with the boat sinking at the end actually being the husband's way of trying to kill him once he realizes he's lost. Whereas in the James Cameron movie, her fiancé is pretty much jealous of Jack from the start and most definitely tries to kill him directly. And lastly, Kate Winslet is certainly no Jean Arthur, and I don't think anybody would ever accuse Leonardo DiCaprio of being Charles Boyer either, which obviously results in the leads being two rather different people, even if certain aspects of their stories are similar. And of course, there is the little matter that the two endings are slightly different from each other, but that's something I won't spoil here. Okay, I'm sure there are plenty of other similarities and differences that I'm missing, but I think I've made my point. I don't need to write a whole essay on this. And just to be clear, I don't even know if James Cameron has even heard of this movie. For all I know, he could be absolutely oblivious to its existence, and any similarities could be completely coincidental. All I'm saying is that the two definitely have a lot in common, and I'm just wondering if there was something more at work with the writing of Titanic. And again, I'm not accusing James Cameron of plagiarism here. I'm just saying it's possible he may have borrowed certain elements from this movie while writing Jack and Rose's love story, which I think is particularly possible if he was more interested in depicting the actual sinking than telling the love story. Alright, I think that pretty much wraps this up. So what do you think? Do you think James Cameron took inspiration from this long forgotten movie? Or do you think it's all a coincidence and I'm just overanalyzing everything? Please feel free to let me know in the comments. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.